Some of you already suspect what I'm about to say, and that's exactly why this is going to sting. For the first time in a generation, 6 motorcycles on sale in the United States right now are outscoring Harley-Davidson in the categories that owners actually care about: quality, cost of ownership, dealer service, resale, and the one metric that quietly kills a brand from the inside: whether the owner would buy the same badge again. This isn't a forum argument. This isn't a YouTube feud. This is what shows up when you cross-reference the J.D. Power Motorcycle Owner Satisfaction Study Framework with Consumer Reports reliability data and the NHTSA Public Recall Database, and then you compare it to what Harley-Davidson has actually shipped over the last 18 months. If you already feel the answer coming, ask yourself why. Why does a guy who's owned 3 Harleys suddenly hesitate before signing on the 4th? Why does the 2026 shopper walk into a dealer, see the sticker, and walk back out? By the end of this video, you'll know which 6 bikes are outranking Harley in 2026 owner satisfaction, why the pattern connecting all 6 is worse for Harley than any single bike on this list, and one more thing: the motorcycle sitting at number 1 is not the one you're picturing right now. It's not the Gold Wing. That's your first clue. Before we go any further, let's talk about where these numbers come from. Because if the source is soft, the whole conversation is soft. The J.D. Power Motorcycle Owner Satisfaction Study scores brands on a 1,000-point scale across 5 weighted factors: product quality and design, dealership service experience, cost of ownership, emotional attachment, and intended repurchase likelihood. That last one is the killer. Emotional attachment used to be Harley's moat, the tattoo brand, the barn shield, the community. Cost of ownership used to be forgiven because of it. But when the Consumer Reports reliability panels started tracking major power sports brands and the NHTSA recall trend for Milwaukee shifted upward, something broke in the math. Harley didn't lose one category. Harley lost ground in 4 of the 5. This isn't opinion from a forum. This is verified data. And here's the part nobody in the Harley marketing department wants you to hear. The 6 bikes we're about to walk through don't just beat Harley in one place. They beat Harley in the same 2 places, over and over. There is a pattern, and it explains why the guy at the number 1 spot is going to surprise you. So here's how this works. We're counting down from number 6 to number 1. Every bike on this list is a motorcycle a Harley shopper would legitimately cross-shop. Not sport bikes, not adventure bikes, not something outside the lifestyle. Cruisers, baggers, tourers. And I'll tell you right now, number 3 has been in production for decades without changing its core formula, and the owners rate it higher than any modern Harley on the road. But we'll get to that. Number 6, Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic. Let's start with the one nobody expected. The Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Classic isn't glamorous. It's not fast. It's not the bike anyone posts about. But in owner satisfaction, the 903cc V-twin punches so far above its price bracket that it embarrasses the Sportster S on a total cost of ownership basis over 5 years. Ask yourself something honest. How many times have you loaned a Harley to a friend and then wondered if it would come back running? Now ask yourself the same question about a Vulcan. There's a reason used Vulcan 900 listings move in under a week in the Midwest. Owners report fewer unscheduled shop visits, cheaper scheduled maintenance, and a dealer experience that, and this is the part that hurts, actually returns calls. When J.D. Power weighs cost of ownership, it's not just what you paid at the dealer. It's tires, oil, brakes, insurance, and the depreciation curve at 36 months and 60 months. On every one of those, the Vulcan 900 beats a comparable Harley entry model, and it does it while looking like the classic cruiser Harley used to build in 1998. Think about that. A Japanese factory in Akashi is now the safe bet for the guy who wanted a small displacement classic cruiser, and Milwaukee handed him that market by pricing the Sportster line into a corner. The Vulcan 900 owner keeps his bike an average of 7 years. He services it at the dealer or at his own bench. He doesn't post about it. And when the survey comes around, he tells J.D. Power he'd buy the same platform again. That is the definition of quiet satisfaction. And it is exactly what Harley used to own before the 2020 restructuring. But here's the thing about the Vulcan 900 that most reviewers won't say out loud. It's the floor of this list. It's a 6. And the bike at number 5 humiliates Harley in a category Harley used to own outright. the one your wife notices before you do. Number 5, Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Fit and finish. Perceived quality. The way the paint holds up after 2 winters in a garage that isn't climate controlled. That's where the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec quietly turned into a problem for Milwaukee. The Bolt R-Spec runs a 942cc air-cooled V-twin, engineered from the ground up to look and feel like the Sportster people wish Harley still made. Clean lines, blacked-out finish, none of the plasticky cost-cutting that started showing up on Harley entry models around 2022. What do you tell a first-time cruiser buyer who walks into a Harley showroom, sees the sticker on a base Sportster, and then walks into the Yamaha showroom and sees the same silhouette for less, with a warranty that doesn't come with a straight face? What do you tell him when the KBB depreciation curve on the Bolt R-Spec at 36 months is measurably shallower than the equivalent Harley in the same shopper's driveway? Yamaha owners report the dealer service experience as one of the strongest in the industry, and Harley has been sliding in that exact category for 3 consecutive study cycles. This is not a small thing. When J.D. Power measures brand repurchase intent, dealer experience is one of the loudest predictors, and Harley knows it. Now push it further. The Bolt R-Spec isn't just cheaper to buy. It's cheaper to insure, it's cheaper to service. The valve check interval is longer, the wheel bearings last longer. The final drive doesn't develop the same rear pulley wear pattern the Sportster line has been known for on high-mileage examples. And every one of those items rolls up into the cost of ownership score in the study. That's not marketing, that's arithmetic. So when a 35-year-old first-time buyer sits down at the credit union and runs the 60-month math on a Bolt R-Spec versus a Nightster, the answer isn't emotional anymore. And that is the sound of a cultural moat drying up. But the next bike on this list didn't get here by looking pretty in a driveway. It got here by doing something Harley's baggers were supposed to do and stopped doing about the time the touring floor plan started getting expensive. Before we get to the muscle cruiser that outscored Milwaukee in torque and reliability at the same time, take 15 seconds. If you ride, you already know what protects a bike better than any factory warranty ever will. Clean oil, a decent trickle charger, and a helmet cam that actually records when you need it. The link in the description is where I keep the exact gear I run on my own bikes. No sponsor deals, no press units, just what works. Now let's get back to the ranking. Number 4. Suzuki Boulevard M109R BOSS. The Suzuki Boulevard M109R BOSS is what happens when a Japanese manufacturer decides to build a muscle cruiser and then just refuses to lose the reliability argument. That 1,783cc liquid-cooled V-twin makes stump-pulling torque. The fuel injection maps have been refined over 2 decades, and the NHTSA recall record on the platform is one of the cleanest in the category. Compare that to the Harley Softail line right now. In 2026, Harley-Davidson recalled 16,994 Softail motorcycles from the 2025 and 2026 model years: FLHC, FXBB, FXLRS, and FXLRST, for a rear brake line that could contact the body control module, wear through, and compromise rear braking. That's a real safety defect on the models most cross-shopped against the N109R, and it followed a separate 2024 recall on nearly 16,000 FXRST and FXLRST Softails for front brake line routing against the fuel tank. 2 brake line recalls in 18 months on the flagship cruiser platform. What happens when you spent $26,000, you're 200 miles from home in a canyon, and the rear brake starts going soft because the line rubbed through? The owners of the M109R don't have to ask that question, and that's why they score dealer trust and mechanical confidence so much higher in the ownership survey. Consider what the M109R owner actually gets: a 240 section rear tire, a twin that pulls harder in the mid-range than most bagger V-twins twice its price, a drivetrain that has been proven across 2 decades of American cruisers, grinding through summers in Texas and winters in Michigan. Compare that to the ownership experience on a modern Softail: the recall letter, the dealer scheduling, the wait for parts, the loaner conversation that never happens. Which of those 2 bikes do you want to own 3 years from now? Which one do you want to sell 5 years from now? And which one do you want to lend to your brother-in-law next weekend? The answers to all three questions land on the Suzuki. But number 3, the bike we're about to talk about, has been in production for so long and rated so highly by its owners for so long that it makes every modern Harley touring bike look like a beta test. Number 3, Honda Goldwing Tour DCT. The Honda Goldwing Tour DCT is not just a motorcycle. It is the single most consistent owner satisfaction machine in the American touring market, and it has been for the better part of 30 years. That 1,833cc horizontally opposed 6-cylinder is paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, and the ownership experience is where the real story lives. Consumer Reports reliability panels place Honda at or near the top of the powersports reliability charts almost every year the data is collected. Repeat that in your head, almost every year. In the J.D. Power framework, that translates into product quality, cost of ownership, and repurchase intent scores that most touring brands can't touch. And Harley's ultra-limited and road glide lines have been drifting the wrong way against it. Now, why is this so painful for Milwaukee? Because a Goldwing owner isn't a rebel. He's not a hipster. He's a 58-year-old guy who put 100,000 miles on a Road King and then switched. That's the exact demographic Harley cannot afford to lose. When a Goldwing owner tells the survey he intends to buy the same platform again, and the equivalent Harley touring number keeps softening, that isn't a coincidence. That's a warning shot. Think about the touring rider's math for a moment. He's not buying image. He's buying miles. He's buying the confidence that he can leave Phoenix on a Thursday, ride to Banff, and get back to work on Tuesday without a shop visit. The Goldwing Tour DCT delivers that with the kind of quiet consistency that doesn't show up in a bar conversation, but does show up in a survey after 4 riding seasons. The dual-clutch transmission alone changes the ownership curve. The clutch pack isn't a wear item you're going to replace at 40,000 miles. The heated grips work. The infotainment system pairs on the first try. The suspension holds calibration. All the small things Harley touring owners have been quietly complaining about for 3 model years, those are the exact things Honda over-engineered a decade ago. But if you think the Goldwing is the surprise on this list, wait until you see what a rival premium American cruiser brand did to Harley's own backyard. Number 2, Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. In the eyes of a Harley loyalist, this bike shouldn't exist. It shouldn't outscore the Road Glide. It shouldn't outscore the Street Glide. But if you look at the J.D. Power measured categories, quality of build, warranty responsiveness, dealer network satisfaction, resale retention, the Chieftain Dark Horse with its Power Plus 108 V-twin has been quietly eating Harley's lunch. That engine displaces 1,768 cc. It's liquid-cooled where it counts. It makes real horsepower on real dyno charts. And the resale retention on Indian baggers has been closing the gap with Harley for 5 straight years. Here's the question no dealer is going to answer honestly. If a Chieftain Dark Horse owner says he'll buy another Indian, and a Road Glide owner says he's thinking about a Goldwing, which of those brands is winning? What does it say about a marque when its most loyal customers start shopping outside the family? Look at the Chieftain Dark Horse on paper. Blacked out chrome, full fairing, ride-by-wire with selectable ride modes, adjustable suspension. The Power Plus 108 makes real numbers, and it does it with modern liquid cooling that doesn't cook the rider's right leg in 95-degree traffic. The Indian dealer network is smaller than Harley's, no question, but the owners rate their dealer experience higher on a per-visit basis, because when you walk into an Indian store, the staff still act like they need to earn your loyalty. Harley used to feel that way in 2005. Ask any Harley owner over 55 what changed. He'll tell you before you finish the question. And the answer to the second open loop from the beginning of this video, the pattern connecting all 6 of these bikes, is going to make it crystal clear at number 1. Because there's one metric where every single bike on this list beats Harley. And it isn't horsepower. It isn't price. It's the metric that decides whether the brand survives the next decade. Before I show you the number 1 motorcycle beating Harley in 2026 owner satisfaction, and it's a bike a lot of you have never sat on, one more thing worth mentioning. If you're planning a long ride this season, the 2 pieces of gear I refuse to leave home without are a modular helmet with a built-in communicator that actually pairs on the first try, and a set of soft luggage that doesn't tear the paint off your tank. Both are linked below. No affiliate blur, no fake urgency. Just the ones I actually use. Now let's finish this. Number 1. BMW K1600B. The BMW K1600B. That's the number 1. And if your first reaction is that a European bagger shouldn't be on a Harley vs. America list, you're exactly the person this data is aimed at. That 1,649cc inline 6-cylinder makes power in a way no V-twin bagger in this country makes power. It pulls from anywhere, it revs like nothing Milwaukee has ever built, and the electronics package sits 5 years ahead of the domestic touring segment. But that's not why the K1600B won. It won because BMW owners report the highest combined scores across dealer service satisfaction and long-term reliability confidence in the premium touring category. The exact 2 categories where Harley has been bleeding for 4 consecutive years. And that is the pattern. Go back to number 6. The Vulcan 900 beats Harley on dealer service and long-term reliability. The Bolt R-Spec, dealer service and long-term reliability. The M109R, dealer service and long-term reliability. The Chieftain Dark Horse, same 2. The K1600B, same 2. Every single motorcycle on this list beats Harley in the same 2 categories that J.D. Power says most predict whether a buyer becomes a repeat buyer. That's not a coincidence. That's a diagnosis. When 16,994 Softails get recalled for a brake defect in a single year, and dealer wait times keep climbing, and the 2026 shopper hesitates at the sticker, this is the machinery underneath it. The brand isn't losing bikes. The brand is losing trust. And that is a much harder thing to recall. The K1600B owner didn't set out to buy a Harley alternative. He set out to buy the best premium bagger money can buy, and he ended up on a BMW because the total ownership arithmetic pointed there. Service intervals are longer. The scheduled maintenance is documented down to the torque value. The dealer books your appointment inside 7 days, not 5 weeks. The residual value at 60 months holds better than it has any right to for a European touring bike in the American market. And every one of those advantages compounds. Every service visit, every insurance renewal, every trade-in conversation, until the owner realizes he's not going back. Not to Milwaukee. Not to any American V-twin bagger. That is what Harley is actually competing against right now. And the 2026 numbers say Harley is losing. But here's what nobody in this segment is saying out loud yet. There is a specific reason Harley is losing ground with riders under 45. And it isn't the recalls. It isn't the pricing. It's something the company decided to do in 2024 that almost no one has connected to the 2026 satisfaction numbers. It's a decision that shows up on every dealership floor in the country right now. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. That's the next video.